So here's the thing. You talk to yourself. Yeah, you don't try to pretend you're not. Every single day, whether you're sitting in traffic, walking through your office, or even at 3 a.m. when you realize you've eaten 3 bowls of cereal and now you regret every life decision. You've caught yourself thinking things like, why did I set this alarm so damn early? Or, I can't find my keys? Again? You know you're doing it. Now, the real question is it normal? Is it a sign of impending madness? Well, let me tell you, I'm here to break the illusion. You're not losing it. Unless, of course, you're talking to yourself in a really creepy way, like plotting a crime, but that's a different story. The truth? Talking to yourself is one of the most powerful tools you have, and I'll explain exactly why, in a way that'll make you rethink how you treat your inner voice. Stick with me. Don't click away. You're about to learn why your brain is a little more useful than you think. Self-talk. It's not just for the crazy ones. Look, we've all been there. You've looked in the mirror and mumbled something like, "What the hell is wrong with me?" After a long day, or maybe even shouted, "I can't do this" under your breath during a tough meeting. You're not alone in this. In fact, most people do it. Some just hide it better than others. And for some reason, we've convinced ourselves that talking to yourself is a sign that we're teetering on the edge of insanity. Here's a reality check. It's completely normal and necessary. You know who else talks to themselves? Literally everyone. Your mom, your best friend, your dog. Seriously, dogs totally have internal dialogues. It's called self-talk, and it's not just some random quirk. It's a core part of how we process life. So get rid of that guilt and embrace the fact that you're just human. In fact, you probably talk to yourself more than you realize. The question is, what do you say to yourself? Because that's where the real power lies. What the heck is self-talk anyway? Let's cut through the nonsense. Self-talk is exactly what it sounds like. Talking to yourself. You do it constantly, whether it's a thought running through your mind or a whispered comment to yourself when no one else is around. And no, this isn't some random brain mumbo-jumbo that only philosophers or crazy people do. It's a tool, a personal mental megaphone that shapes your reality. Now, this inner speech isn't the same as daydreaming or imagining something in your head. Psychologists define it as verbalized thoughts. It's an internal dialogue you have with yourself about your life, your goals, or whatever random thing is on your mind. Whether it's saying, "I need to get my act together," or telling yourself, "I've got this." It's your personal script, and it's crucial. So why not make it work for you? Stop making it a mindless stream of thoughts and start using it to your advantage. You're essentially your own life coach, but only if you learn how to direct the conversation. The childish side of self-talk. Before you go acting all sophisticated, remember this. You've been talking to yourself since you were a child. Oh yes, you did. We all did. And if you say you didn't, you're probably lying, or at least blocking out some embarrassing childhood memories. As kids, we talk to ourselves out loud, creating little conversations as we play. It's not a sign of immaturity, it's a sign of development. A Russian psychologist by the name of Lev Vygotsky had this brilliant idea in the 1930s. He said that this outward self-talk in children is essential for emotional and behavioral growth. Why? Because when kids talk to themselves, they're mimicking the conversations they've had with adults, learning to navigate their feelings and regulate their actions. It's like building mental muscle. But here's the kicker. As we get older, we start internalizing this talk. We go from talking to ourselves out loud to having those conversations inside our heads. And guess what? You never outgrow it, nor should you. The more you talk to yourself, the more you learn how to manage your life. So why not keep it going? Self-talk, the mental gym. Let's take it up a notch. Imagine you're heading into a major presentation or you've got an intense game coming up. What's the first thing that crosses your mind? Probably something like, "Don't mess up." Now, that's a basic form of self-talk, but here's the twist. You can actually use it like a mental gym. Instead of just throwing random thoughts around, why not get strategic? You can program your mind to work for you, not against you. Think of instructional self-talk as your mental personal trainer. This is when you tell yourself things like, "Focus on your breathing," or "Stay calm." This is just a normal conversation. Studies have shown that athletes who use this kind of talk perform better. Collegiate tennis players, for instance, increase their accuracy and focus just by saying to themselves, This next serve is going to be perfect. So, next time you're about to face something challenging, don't just stand there freaking out. Use your self-talk to guide you through it and watch how much easier it becomes. You've got the power to reframe your mind in real time. Use it. Distanced self-talk. It's not as weird as it sounds. Okay, now we're going to take things a step further. Imagine you're facing a high-pressure situation, public speaking, a big exam, or meeting someone new. And instead of the usual panic thoughts running through your mind, you take a deep breath and say, "Okay, Caleb, you've got this. You are prepared for this test." Sounds weird, right? You're talking to yourself like you're another person. This is called distanced self-talk, and it's incredibly effective. You know why? Because it shifts your mindset from I to you. It creates a mental distance between yourself and the stress, almost like you're offering yourself advice from the outside. Studies show that this technique reduces anxiety and boosts performance in anxiety-inducing situations. So, next time you're freaking out before a big presentation, try addressing yourself by name or saying, "You've done this before." It may sound strange at first, but it's like giving yourself a mental pep talk from your own personal coach. Try it and watch the magic happen. The danger zone, when self-talk turns toxic. Let's get brutal for a second. We all have that little voice inside our heads that tells us we're not good enough. That voice that says, "You messed up again, didn't you?" Or "You're never going to make it." Guess what? That voice is toxic. And the longer you listen to it, the more it wears you down. You know when you're spiraling into the negativity zone. It's like a broken record of self-blame and regret. This kind of toxic self-talk can lead to serious issues. Anxiety, depression, you name it. But here's the catch. You can fight back. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is all about recognizing those negative patterns and flipping them. It's about challenging your inner critic and replacing those harsh, untrue thoughts with something more compassionate. So next time you catch yourself saying, "I can't do this," challenge it. Replace it with, "I'm learning, I'm improving." It's a game changer. The power of self-talk, your new secret weapon. Here's the bottom line. You have the most powerful tool at your disposal, and it's been there all along. Self-talk is your secret weapon. It's not just some random, irrelevant chatter. It's your personal guide, your coach, your biggest fan. So, why not use it to your advantage? Stop letting your inner critic run the show. Instead of whining about how awful everything is, tell yourself, "I've got this. I can handle it." It might sound simple, but it's one of the most effective ways to shift your mindset and change your life. And if you still think you're not good enough, well, take a look at every successful person out there. You think they don't talk to themselves? They do, just like you. The key is to make that self-talk work for you, not against you. And when you get that right, watch out. Success is right around the corner. So, next time you catch yourself talking to yourself, don't run and hide. Embrace it. You're not crazy. You're using the most underrated tool on the planet. Now, take that self-talk, refine it, make it your own, and start seeing real change. Don't let it control you. You control it. Oh, and if you made it this far, you're clearly ready to take charge. I'm watching you. Make sure you talk yourself into success. See you at the top.